Before people knew my name, they heard my voice. Before I became Sunshine the vocal chef, I was just a young girl with a dream and a love for music. This is the story of how my voice became my identity. Hi everyone, welcome back to Tshego.M. Today I'll be sharing a very personal story. Many people know me as a singer, a performer, a composer, a musician, a content creator, an entrepreneur, but they don't know where this journey has started. So today we will be unpacking that, and I'll be taking you guys through my musical journey on where it all started and where I am now. My love for music started at a young age. Like, I would normally find myself singing, and I think one of the things that surprised my family all the time is that every Sunday I wanted to see myself at church, and they didn't actually get the whole idea behind it. But I guess those melodies are the ones that have been pulling me through to want to like be there every Sunday. So I would cry even if my mom would say, I don't have enough money for transport today. Yo, ke tlo thinta bag ke re tšhelete ash. Ke thinte diaparo tsene tša apereng during the week I am mmerekong, just to make sure that I make it to church. Then it went on and on and on up until I went to my primary school, ko Ramatlale in Mamelodi. As I was saying, I started my primary ko Ramatlale, ko Mamelodi Extension 5, and I would share the school choir, but normally they would only sing gaona le the occasion or go na le masoko sekolong. And I lost a friend, I think I was in grade 2, and they had the rehearsal. I was there all the time, and there was a time where the choristane di shota, so they had to run an audition. So I got interested, but banjikisa, they were like, when you are still young, you can only be part of the choir ka grade 4. And like every day have a practice, I'll be waiting outside the door. So like that thing, I neki crave, and not that it was something as yet, but like I wanted to be there. I wanted to take part. So the routine school choir carried on until I finally got to grade 4, and my class teacher was the school conductor. So that year, I think there were many activities that had to do with the school choir and whatnot. So they had to run the audition in and I was so happy because ke class teacher yaka with the personality yaka, and finally ke tlo mo impress ka something one line. So yeah, that's what happened. I went to the audition, and then bampia ko soprano. Now the problem started. Bampile ko soprano, ha kutlo mo ngopela alto, I would switch. So voice yaka, it was there, but ne ke sa khone ho, like my hearing was poor in a sense that ne ke sa khone ho stick to one voice. I would sing like Nickel all round, I would sing the whole thing. So remember, just to go back, when we do auditions, you sing all one. I think that's when I grabbed attention a lot of people, a lot of my peers. But I think they were from grade 5, 6, 7. So that's when I was spotted for the first time. This person has a voice. So when I'm singing alone, but once I mix off key, jump from soprano to alto, from alto to tenor. That's my problem. Go apply the voice to and then by then it was so hard because of I didn't know much about singing. I just knew how motho wa opela voice sound monate wa fela mo. So yeah, I started being recognized from then, and then people they would ask me, can you please sing for me? You know, like how long one of free spirited you would do that because of it's something that you love. So I remember during that era there was a guy who was staying, I think, a street away from my house. I can't remember the actual year. That guy came our own choir, like a community choir, and he would love me to join the choir and whatnot. And my mom was like, "Oh, I'm munyane. Ibla na iti selo ka opela or tlhabela mashata mo ntlong." And then he was like, "No, like I'm for real. This person can sing." So my mom was like, "Usalo munyane," for us to expose her to such things because in school we don't want her like focus high scattered. We want her to have focus high go to bouquet, like undivided attention go to bouquet. And yeah, that guy would see me motile hampona wena hopefully high school you must join my choir, or whenever you consider going to the choir you must start to sing for na. So 2013 I went to Stanza Bopapi Secondary School, where population ya hore banong ke a it's starting to grow. So I joined this a cappella group, but unfortunately but Ilma matric, so the following year I was at thing, so the group died. And the other year I had to join the school choir. So ka grade 8 yaka, while I was still with the a cappella choir, the a cappella group, I mean to say, they realized that I'm good as a lead, and they gave me a song, and they were appointed to perform assembly, and I was told that I was gonna be a lead for that morning, and I sang that song. I think it was Sunshine. Yes, that's how I got my stage name. Yeah, as I was saying that I was named after a song, yeah, the soil, Sunshine. The song was saying, "Hey sunshine, how you doing? I'm doing fine, thinking about you. 'Cause when I was alone, I thought about you." So like it was a jam for us, even after like having a gospel song or assembly, would sing that just to cheer up mudwa everyone goes along. And it started being a thing, but hey sunshine. So like that's how I got the name. And yeah, lang khomarela ho ya go ile. And some teachers thought gore ke lebitso la ka la nnete. The reason why I'm saying that, a lot of teachers thought gore ke lebitso la ka la nnete. I remember there was a time I was late go school, and they would normally say ntsha buka ya hao, like any of your like subject books, just to check, to verify your identity, because ba never fa mabitso a maka. So they would record horo latelo ha kae, and that was my only time I got late go school. So I can ntsha buka ba re no a se buka hao eo, I don't know, as a book, and I'm like, okay, go and fetch my class teacher and ask. So they had to get my class teacher to confirm. So she was like, now all along we thought, Sunshine, how. But yeah, I guess, because each and everyone address, even the principal of the school knew I am Sunshine. So during my grade 10, I was appointed in a school choir conductor, Costanza Bopapi Secondary School, and I was also a lead singer. So each and every competition in as a school, we would come really the winner. So normally in a patala with 500 as a registration, maybe if it requires, so it will 1,000 rand plus 500 as a school choir. So I think we lost once or twice, but it was a thing if I'm a chance. But we knew in our hearts that we were not the winner. So I started being recognized more and more and more. So there was one guy that was my friend Sibusiso Timunye. May his beloved soul rest in peace. We decided that we're gonna open a choir. So Rabula choir, and then the choir ya thoma ho ba active, but relebetse ho ifa lebitso. And then I came up ka lebitso e be ke re ke Salvation Gospel Choir. Then the choir carried on. We were doing so good. We were getting bookings now and then. And even if some people like Nabera Manyalo or the event, a larger group of people, we would go with this guy who was my guitarist. I'm still working with him, Mpendulo. And we'd go Hapelim Duduzi. He's a conductor now, Gospel Reloaded. So we'd go really for and go and make our pocket money there. So yeah, that's how I started to perform one besides the choir. As you know that group or group work, sometimes little clashes there and there. Some stuff happened, the politics, the leadership and whatnot in the choir, go Salvation Gospel Choir. And I decided to leave because I feel oppressed in a sense that I was the female leader of the choir, and amongst Bashimani, no one was supporting my vision and no one was actually on my side. Sometimes they would do other things, staying or without even including me. And we have never started Lebon. So that's when I decided to leave. And then my cousin encouraged me to join a Gospel Reloaded. And during the time, I was being approached by big choirs, Koma Melody. And for now, at that time, Gospel Reloaded was the best choice, was the best decision for me to take. I remember on my first rehearsal, Gospel Reloaded, Prapita, who is the founder of Gospel Reloaded, gave me a song. And that song became mine from that moment. I'm peeling on. The tone was a bit high, but I had to learn to adjust, and I think vocally, a lot of things I was not taught vocally. Melody sound by producer. Those are the things that I had to learn. But it was not a thing to learn this. I had to teach myself. So yeah, I carried on. Choir, like we would know her weekend there, it's either on stage or on the concert. I got the opportunity to meet Miss Liadlala, who is a founder of Morning Star charity organization, and she introduced me to UNISA music competition that takes place every year. So normally she would also host events, so she would encourage us to come. Like I feel that platform besides music choir, music we can learn or we can create for ourselves. So that's when I actually learned to create my own sound, of which it was a bit African. So I would say maybe style Afro pop then. So that's when I was performing Tatale Mpendulo, my guitarist.
Play them again, play me those songs. I want to dance, dance all night long. Play them again.
On my first entry of that competition, I think I won 3 or 4 categories, and I was taking the first place cohort. So normally when you take a first place, pink slip. So pink slip you are getting money. And then I think there was also an overall prize where I took all the categories as a position 1 winner, something like that. So look how it was a proud moment for them, because I remember I was still in grade 10, and then I made so much money competition. So this, like, I also started to see this is not a hobby anymore. This is a career. This is something that I can live with. This is something that defines me. And if I want to carry on Kayona, I need to put more work into it. I need to put more effort, and I need to make sure that I improve time and again. In 2019, I met Miss Theodora Ndobe, who is my mentor and also has played a role into managing me as an artist. So she was teaching me theory, yeah, music, saxophone, and what else? She was coaching me vocally, but I also had a vocal mentor who was Mr. Pindile Mpechwa. So she was just doing both, but Hekelko Skolong, Mr. Pindile Mpechwa was the one who was taking part into the vocal coaching and training my voice for like ibe sharpened up. So yeah, I think I also got an opportunity to enroll for the UNISA music competition, and I also took a first place again. So I was able to write my grade 1 and 2 some music theory, and I passed with distinctions because Miss Theodora Ndobe, her teacher, like once I feel classwork or just some random work, after some time we'll offer question paper. So that thing ne you ira hore o aim high already, o tloile standard is a exam, so that when you go to your exams you already have that standard. If you bar o faitse ke ho grade 70. So nna ne ke phela ke le motho wa di 80s. It's either ke tlo kra bo 83, 84, 85, 86. Ne ke tlalla ko ne le di marks tsa ka tse. UNISA Music Foundation has introduced me to many things. Like I go to meet the artists tse eleng hore ne ke nahana hore nka se di bone. For the late Gloria Postman, she was such an inspiration, and I'm still inspired by her, and I think I'm taking her road. Like she's one person that I look up to. So UNISA Music Foundation has taught me as a person to push harder, to work harder, and to not fear the bigger stages, because music is appreciated in our country, and music unites us. And who is the best or who is, because we are all coming to something along different. So when you see people by unite in music, be part of it. So as I was focusing on my music and the Lutza Skolo musically, I got to work with Kanya Arts Production. I carried on with Messi Liatlatla, Go Morning Stars, and I also decided to do my own thing, like my own branding. So I once hosted an event, stepping out of my comfort zone, where I was performing for like 3 to 4 hours alone. So the only thing, it was that I'm performing, and then I get off stage, people are listening to music, and then I'll come back and perform up until. So it was a success, though it was something that we were putting on a test. But I was so happy that people pulled through, even the ones that I didn't know. So it was a success. How can I forget that I was also auditioning for the Idols? I think from 20 man. I can't remember the year, but I think I was still in grade 10 Lohona, then grade 11, and then got like enter 2020 online because Nella got the COVID. And always go the director's cut. So the director's cut is where they decide who you should come back, so that they shoot you, so that it can like TV and whatnot. Unfortunately, I never got to like be shown on screen. But on the brighter side, channel 340 UNISA know my face, because like Gospel Reloaded, and I will call everyone kana ko eso bulang 340 UNISA. And I just want to take this moment to appreciate Mr. Peter Hlongwane for always seeing my potential and for always making me shine in Akit, in famous places, go the Eben Brew Studio. Like, you put me out there. Staging, you gave me a platform. I remember there was this other time I was passing, I think I was at the mall, and someone was like, you are not that person on our pelang that this other choir gospel loaded. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm in my celebrity era because people are able to recognize me from then. So, Brapita Hlongwane, shout out to you. I'm so grateful for all the opportunities that I was given for choiring, and also the opportunities that I was given as a composer. Though it was not a full-time thing, but whenever I had something in mind, you gave me a platform. As you know that there are highs and lows in everything that a person does. During COVID time, I had a setback because everything was just quiet. There was no income, there was no performance, there was nothing. So I decided I will look for a job, and I got my first job. I was working at Dental Day Spa, go Pretoria, and I was given a position of as a front desk person, a receptionist, but I didn't work there for a long time. And then bang shifta bang berekisa ko morago as a dental assistant. It didn't take long because negetaba madi, and then that's when I was given an opportunity to study as becoming a medical esthetician, and then I worked at the medical aesthetics. So I worked at medical aesthetics department as a somatologist, where I was performing the facial, your micro needling, the dermafillers, your botox, the massage, the foot scrub, and other services. And I also got an opportunity on how to learn to do your own product. So I was given that opportunity to mix the products like the body foot scrub, the hand lotion from scratch. Yes, I was doing that for the company. And yeah, time and again I would still go back if I get a gig, because obviously I would go, but it will be like a once-off thing. It will okay after some time. So yeah, that's how it all happened. And in my current era, I do a lot of things. I recently started my digital marketing business. I'm also into content creation. I'm still a performer, I'm still a singer, and I'm a knitter, self-taught knitter. Kira di kuani, di cheresi, anything that you can think of. And also, I've decided to embark on a journey, your hosted event. I work under Tim Gaula, who is my brother. I work under Tim Gaula management. So he's a DJ and he hosts events annually, big events annually, where like the vibe, it's just to gather people together for good music, food, the vibe in J. So yeah, that is currently what I'm busy with. To the young ones who are watching this video, my advice is that go to school and get that matric, get that qualification, establish your career, and also branch into other things what you are doing, so that you can grow. Your income won't be coming from one thing, because if that source of income dies, you can run to. But if for branches, if for instance performance I will this month, maybe only sound a lot why hires that can make money for you. If you hire a camera, that can make money for you. If it's a nepe, that will make money for you. It's something that it's within the same industry. So don't look at wanting to be a performer or a singer. Branch out into what you are doing. And to everyone who has contributed to my journey, and the support that you guys have been giving me from where I've started to where I am, and I wish gore the journey be a generous one, and the one that I learned the most from. So if you are watching this video up until this time, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to share, like, comment, and what, remain on this channel till we meet again on the next one. Thank you for tuning in to Tshego.M. For now, let me love and leave you. Bye.